All right, welcome back. Next week is Law Day, and to celebrate the rule of law and learn more about our legal system, Muskegon will be helping to do just that. They've got some fun events planned, including a competition to help students get a deeper understanding. And joining us live in studio is Vasishta Barenga, who is a referee with the Circuit Court up there in Muskegon County. Good morning, welcome back. We had you on earlier this morning. It's good to see you again. What is Law Day? Walk us through that.
Okay, so essentially Law Day started in 1958. And it was created essentially by President Eisenhower to help everybody understand get a better understanding of the rule of law. Law Day helps us get the students engaged in civic activities within the community.
Which is very important, of course. I know why it's important because, you know, we've all been through a government class. We know how it works. But even some of our youngest learners, they still have to kind of learn what this is all about. Why, in your eyes, do you think it's important to educate our youngest learners about the law?
Well, it is truly important for our young people to learn about Law Day and to understand the legal justice system because they are our leaders, they are voters, and they are our change makers of the future. It is important for them to understand their own rights and their responsibilities and making those connections within the community because they have the opportunity to meet local judges. Our county prosecutor is part of the process, and we have our county clerk, one of our mayors is involved, so getting that opportunity for them to meet local professionals, ask questions, engage with them, but helping them also understand what their rights and their responsibilities are, and hopefully also opening the doors for them to have a career in public service.
Yeah, so third grade, why that age group was what you guys picked?
We decided that that was the age group that when the teachers start kind of introducing them a little bit more about government. So our 3rd through 5th graders participate in our art contest, so it's a little bit easier for them to engage that way. Our middle schoolers do an essay contest, and then our seniors and high school students all participate in our speech contest that is going to be held at the courthouse on May 2nd. I'm very, very fortunate that all of our circuit court, our judges have allowed us to utilize their courtrooms and, take a day off of scheduling any hearings to allow us to do that.
Absolutely. So. They're going to get access to a lot of people who know the rule of law very, very well. What do you hope that these youngest learners, anywhere from 3rd grade and on, what do you hope that they're going to get out of the conversations they'll be able to have with judges, folks as yourself, the clerks in your building? What do you hope that they get out of it?
Honestly, I want their voices to be heard because they have a lot to say and their voices are important, and I want them to understand that what they say matters, what they do matters, and how they participate within our community is important. Once I said, they are our future generation, and they have a lot of important things to say. Every year I am truly impressed by their passion and their abilities to be so poised and speak in front of judges at such a young age.
I know. I mean, I certainly wouldn't have been, even thought of something like this. Growing up, did you have anything like this
Absolutely not.
Walked you through that? I mean, I think that is just kind of spectacular. They get that one-on-one connection, really.
It really is. There's definitely a lot that's available to these young learners, which is really exciting, but I'm sure it can be kind of intimidating for them at first, especially with all the legal jargon that maybe they don't understand. How do you approach kind of that intimidating type of topic to be able to bring it to these younger learners?
So the American Bar Association comes out with a prompt early fall, and we then take that prompt, divides it to fit to each category, to each age group, and then we have a very amazing group of committee members who, I really have to say that John Noling is one of our committee members. He is a retired teacher in Muskegon County. He goes to all the schools. He spends so much time working with the students one-on-one, helping them understand how to dissect the prompts, get them to understand how to speak in front of judges. We make the speeches down to 4 minutes. So they are timed, they're very quick, and I know that these kids pour so much of themselves into making this work. And we have a really great committee members who participate in the various different competitions that we have going on right now.
It's really cool. So the speeches, what is this year's prompt? Can you share that?
Yes, so this year's prompt talks about the Constitution, out of one, many. It asks us to pay attention to the opening line of "We the people form a more perfect union." And that line specifically asks us to have the voices of the people be heard, and having understanding the fact that the Constitution is a living, breathing document, and our country is still a growing country, and having the kids figure out what they believe is going to work to make our Constitution and our government better.
That's really cool. And in years past, have you what other sort of like speeches have come of this? So obviously, these kids have their own take on it, right? So
Yes.
you have to hear some pretty incredible thoughts at such a young age. Can you share some of the things that you've heard of in the past?
Some of our prior prompts have included, we the people, how they believe that their specific views on how they can better engage themselves within the community, and what they believe our government needs to do to have the youth be more engaged and being able to have their voices heard.
Yeah, and that's all, what it is all about, really.
Absolutely. So you've been a part of this for a little bit now. What would you say has been your favorite part all throughout that keeps you coming back year after year to teach kids about Law Day?
Honestly, it's the kids.
Yeah.
Having them be engaged. We have been very fortunate with having some of our younger kids, even from middle school, who start off with the essay contest, then start participating with the speech contest, and then having them come back every year and seeing them improve every single year. We did have to take a little bit of a break during COVID, but once we started back up again, we had a student who was a freshman, and then by the time we came back after COVID, she was a junior, and to see how much she had improved and just the changes in her own opinions and her thoughts were just amazing to
That's
see.
got to feel good, because that way you know that you've taught something, or they got something out of the day, which is really cool. Okay, so when we show up on May 2nd, walk us through the day. What can we expect?
So first off, it'll just strictly be our speech contest. We still have our art displayed on the 4th floor for everyone to view, and I believe we just closed the voting for the art contest today.
Okay.
But on May 2nd, the students will start attending the courthouse around 8:30. We will start the speech contest at 9 o'clock. We have 2 separate courtrooms designated for just our seniors, and then our 9th through 11th grade students. We have 4 judges for each of the competitions. Each student, like I said, will have 4 minutes to do that. Once all of the students are done participating with their speeches, the judges will deliberate. We will come back after that at around 11:30, and we are going to have an award ceremony at the Lake House in Muskegon. And we are very, very excited because we have our keynote speaker this year, which is Michigan Supreme Court Justice Elizabeth Welch, has decided to come speak to our kids this year. So I'm very, very excited for them to have that opportunity to listen to her.
Wow, a lot of FaceTime with some pretty big people in the judicial system here in our state, which is so cool. Can people still sign up for this, or are signups closed?
Signups are closed.
Okay.
We usually stop that about a week or 2 before the contest, just to give everybody the time to see how many kids we have, and making sure that we have enough time for the judges to be able to deliberate as well after all the speeches are conducted. So I think right now we have around 10 seniors and 18 9th through 11th grade students participating.
Wow, okay, very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the
you.
studio this morning. Again, this is May 2nd.
Yes.
Actual Law Day is on May 1st,
Yes.
though. Okay, but you guys celebrate it on the May 2nd day.
Yes, we work with very closely with the Muskegon County ISD, and usually it depends. We change the date based on where the kids are at with testing,
Okay.
senior events, everything like that. So our Law Day changes based on what the schools think would be best for the kids.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.